Have you ever bitten into a burger and thought, where did this even come from? Most people assume it's an all-American invention, born in the land of fast food and drive-thrus. But the truth, it's way more fascinating and way more global than that. The story of the hamburger stretches across continents, cultures, and centuries. It's a tale of warriors, sailors, immigrants, and entrepreneurs, all unknowingly contributing to what would become one of the most iconic meals on the planet. So let's take a juicy bite into history and uncover the hidden origins of the hamburger. The Mongol warrior origins. Let's go back, way back to the 13th century. Imagine the Mongol Empire under Genghis Khan. Mongol horsemen were fierce warriors, constantly riding, constantly moving. They needed food that didn't require stopping to cook. So they came up with a clever solution. They would take raw meat, often lamb or horse, and place it under their saddles. The friction and body heat would tenderize the meat as they rode. By the time they stopped, it was soft enough to eat. No fire, no tools, just raw, minced meat on the go. It might sound gross today, but it was a survival tactic that worked. It kept them going on brutal campaigns and long journeys across the steppes. This early version of raw ground meat would eventually influence a dish called steak tartare in Russia. A dish that over time would evolve again and again through geography and taste. And that's where our burger story begins. The Hamburg steak in Germany now. Fast forward a few centuries. That idea of minced meat makes its way into Europe, specifically to the German port city of Hamburg. By the 18th and 19th centuries, cooks in Hamburg began serving minced beef, seasoned and cooked, as a dish known as the Hamburg steak. It was popular among the working class, easy to make, filling, and affordable. Served with onions, breadcrumbs, and spices, the Hamburg steak was simple but delicious. It was a dish you could find in homes, taverns, and sailor pubs. And it didn't stay in Germany for long. Why? Because Germans didn't stay in Germany. Millions of them began migrating across the Atlantic. The dish comes to America. In the 1800s, German immigrants brought their culinary traditions to the United States. Among them, the Hamburg steak. American restaurants, especially in port cities like New York, began serving it as a nod to the German immigrants. It was flavorful, familiar, and filling, a good meal for dock workers and laborers. But there was a problem. It wasn't portable. You needed a plate and a fork. Tough to handle if you were on the move or working long hours. That's when innovation stepped in. Someone, somewhere, had the idea to put that Hamburg steak between two pieces of bread. Suddenly, it was portable. No fork, no knife, no mess. It became a meal for the modern world, fast-paced, on the go, and handheld. And just like that, the modern hamburger began to take shape. The battle for the first hamburger. Here's where things get tricky. Several people and cities claim to be the true inventor of the hamburger. Let's go through a few of them. First up, Louis' Lunch in New Haven, Connecticut. According to legend, in the year 1900, a customer wanted something he could eat quickly while walking. So, Louis Lasson slapped a cooked beef patty between two slices of toast and handed it over. They still serve it that way today, with no ketchup or mustard allowed. Then there's Charlie Negreen from Seymour, Wisconsin, who supposedly sold flattened meatballs and sandwiches at a county fair in 1885. He wanted people to eat while walking, and meat between bread was the solution. Next, we have Fletcher Davis from Athens, Texas. He reportedly sold ground beef sandwiches in the 1880s and even served them at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. A big stage and a big opportunity to popularize the concept. And let's not forget the Menches brothers from Ohio, who also claim they invented the burger at a fair when they ran out of pork and used beef instead. So, who really invented it? The truth is, we don't know. And honestly, It doesn't matter, because the idea had already caught fire. Once people saw how simple, satisfying, and portable this sandwich could be, it spread like wildfire. No matter who made the first, it quickly became everyone's food. The fast food explosion. By the 1920s, a small chain called White Castle changed everything. They weren't just selling burgers, they were selling consistency, cleanliness, and speed. Small square patties cooked in onions, served quickly for just a few cents. They made it efficient, they made it reliable, they made it American. White Castle laid the foundation for modern fast food. Then came McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and the rest is history. Drive-thrus, combo meals, dollar menus. The hamburger was no longer just a food, it was a symbol of convenience, efficiency, and yes, indulgence. It became more than a meal, it became a cultural icon. More than just a meal. Today, burgers are everywhere, from street stalls in Bangkok to gourmet restaurants in Paris. They're made from beef, lamb, chicken, mushrooms, even plants. They come in hundreds of styles, sizes, and flavors. With toppings that range from classic lettuce and tomato to truffle aioli, blue cheese, and gold leaf. But no matter how fancy or fast they get, they all carry a little piece of that ancient story. From Mongol warriors to German docks to American diners. The hamburger isn't just a sandwich, it's a story of survival, culture, and creativity. It's proof that food doesn't just feed the body, it tells our story. And the hamburger, it tells one of the most fascinating stories of all. Now you know the real history behind the hamburger. So next time you bite into one, remember, you're eating a legend. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history of the hamburger, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Got a favorite burger spot or a theory about who really invented the burger? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And hey, this is just one story. History is full of everyday things with surprising origins. So if you're curious about how the ordinary became extraordinary, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching, and remember, every bite has a backstory. See you in the next one.